Hello there. Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here today with the series we're running for the month of July, which is my 31 favorite rock albums released in 1969. So this is the debut album from this band, as was yesterday's, and we will probably have a fair number like that in the total discography here. So this will be my number 19. This is day 19. This is an album that, and a lot of people don't like much because they don't see it as being part of the band's repertoire because it sounds very different than the band. And we're talking about Genesis from here to Revelations, from Genesis to Revelation. Sorry, from here to Revelations. Thinking of a movie. So from Genesis to Revelations, their debut album, very different than what people have come to understand as Genesis. So you've got Genesis basically two periods of time. They have the progressive, heavy progressive rock era in the 70s, which gave way into the 80s into the pop era or commercially successful era of the band. This album is outside both of them. This came prior to the prog era, so it's very poppy. Um, got a poppy sound to it. Got, a standard sound from the 1960s. There's nothing unusual here at all. 15 tracks, I believe, in total. Actually, I'm wrong. There's more. There's like 17 or so tracks on here now. Some of them may have been add-ons. I'm not 100% sure of that. On this particular album, it features Tony Banks on keyboards and vocals, Peter Gabriel on vocals and flute, Anthony Phillips on guitars and vocals. Sorry, Mike Rutherford on bass, guitars, and vocals, and John Silver on drums, with Chris Stewart doing a couple of tracks on drums as well. So basically, these are the five original members here. Of course, the next album you would lose John Silva, who would be replaced. And then again, the band would evolve by Nursery Crime. But this is very different sounding than even Trespass, which was kind of the beginning of that progressive sound. This is very poppy. There's lots of good stuff on here, some interesting tracks in the beginning, The Conqueror, In the Hiding. Oh, pretty poppy, but Gabriel's voice is still Gabriel's voice. So that in itself gets it a lot of points with me. The music's not bad here. The album itself didn't do particularly well because it was relegated to the religious section of the record store because they didn't know who they were. But at any rate, still a very good album, I think. Not a terrible album by any stretch. Just maybe if you want to compare it to the Genesis collection, it's not that great. But if you compare it to a lot of pop stuff of that time period, I think it measures up quite well. So that's my choice for today, from Genesis to Revelations, from Genesis, their debut album. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe. If you want, you can put comments about the Genesis album we just talked about today, or you can just give your own album. That's okay as well. Anyways, we will see you tomorrow with another episode from the series we're running for the month of July, which is my 31 favorite rock albums released in 1969. So take care, have yourself a good night, good evening, and goodbye from Prog Monster.